morning, everybody. This is DIYDave at it again, but today we're going to do something a little bit different. Had a fluorescent light fixture here in the ceiling, and the tubes went out during an electrical storm, and when I went to dust off the tubes to get them replaced, one of them fell to the ground and crashed, and it had happened before. It makes a mess. And I decided I wanted to try something a little bit different, and I looked at some LED tube replacements, and I wasn't really crazy about those. So I decided to undertake something of an experiment. Now, those of you who follow my page on Facebook saw me put a picture of this and asked, what in the world is this? Well, this is something I picked up off of Amazon.com. This is a totally LED-based light source for a garage. It's rated at 8,000 lumens, and one of the things that's really neat about this is that it is super simple to install. In fact, it's designed to fit into a regular screw base, just a light bulb base. So I thought, you know what, this was worth a shot. This unit costs about $50, and they sell different units that range between 30 and 50, and they have different lumens ratings. This is the one that I thought had the highest rating, so I gave it a shot, but I think almost any of them would have a similar install procedure. Now, the only thing that you have to have in the garage is a screw-in light bulb light fixture. Well, I don't. They just took the wires when they built the house back in 1999. They just ran wires to this fluorescent fixture. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take down this fluorescent fixture. I'm going to put in a ceiling mount fixture, a couple of knockouts, run the wires through it, and then attach this screw bulb fixture, screw it in there, and it'll be done. The hardest part of this will be doing this part, and if you've already got a screw-in light fixture in the ceiling, you don't even have to do this part. So we'll go ahead and get started. Okay, first thing we're going to do is make sure that the power to this is killed. Anytime you're working around electricity, it has this curious quality that if you're not careful, it can only kill you. So we're kind of adverse to that. It doesn't make for a very good video, although it might go viral. So what we're going to do is this particular light fixture is wired to a wall switch here when the house was built. So that turns it off. And then once we disconnect that fixture, I've got a little voltmeter that I'm going to put on there, and we can verify that the fixture is dead. We're not going to be risking touching any live wires. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come up here and carefully take out the remaining tube. There we go. The other day I was taking one of these out. Actually, I was brushing down cobwebs off of it to look at the right kind to get a replacement, and the broom knocked one of the bulbs off on the floor. And if you've never been around one of these tubes when they break, they're under vacuum, and when they break, they explode into 4 billion tiny little pieces everywhere. They're a mess. And if nothing else, I'll be glad to get rid of these. Even if I decide that this doesn't put out enough light, or maybe I want to get an extra one and wire a second one, I'm glad to be not able to deal with these, because this LED fixture should last for years, and it shouldn't require any maintenance. So we'll set this out of the way. Now all we need to do is remove a clip here that should expose the screws that have this fixture mounted to the ceiling. There we go. Yuck. We'll just loosen this little clip because we don't care about this fixture anymore. Now, we can take a look here. This isn't going to be hard to receive. Here is the power converter that supplies power to the fluorescent tubes. Don't really care about it. We're going to disconnect it and remove it. Here are the wires from the ceiling where they attached the original wire, just the black hot wire and the white neutral wire. So we'll disconnect those caps, and then we'll just remove the ceiling, the fixture, which is attached with 2 screws to the ceiling. We're going to again make absolutely sure we don't have any electricity running here that we didn't already preclude by flipping the switch off at the wall. Got a little amp clamp here on this side. And we've got We've got no voltage, no current. We'll run AC amps. We got nothing, 0 amps. So there's nothing going through this circuit. This is safe to work on. So all we're going to do now is we're going to undo these wire nuts. Yep, that's done. And that's done. That's disconnected. So the fixture is already done. So all we've got to do now is take off. Okay, there's one screw. There we go. There. Now, this should free up the old fixture. So, now let's take a look at this ceiling fixture here. Now, something I noticed immediately that I didn't expect is that this already has a ceiling mount fixture, so I won't need to use that remodeling blue fixture that I have right there. It's already got one. All I have to do is take these two wires and wrap them around the screw terminal, the screw bulb terminal. All I have to do is take them and wrap the hot wire around these terminals and the white wire around these terminals, and then screw it in, and that'll be done. Noticed after I got this out of the package, this was like a $2 fixture at Lowe's. Got it out of the package and realized this edge was broken off. And I weighed going back, yeah, I'd prefer to have the fixture that's all nice and neat on one end, but I hate driving all the way back for something that's just going to be in the garage. It's not, aesthetics aren't the biggest thing in the garage. I don't know. Actually, I want to peel back the insulation on that a little bit. Maybe we're going to loosen it. Yeah, well, unfortunately, sometimes the pitfalls of being a DIY person is that you drop things and they break. I could live with the chip on this edge, but when this thing slipped out of my hand before, it hit the concrete floor, and you can't quite see it, but it shattered. It put a crack in this fitting. So when I tighten these screws up and then I cinch the fitting, that's probably going to break and it won't hold. That's just not smart. So we're going to have to take a time out. I'm going to run down. Hopefully Walmart will have a replacement that I'll grab there, and we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, through the magic of video, I have been and returned from Walmart, and I've gotten a replacement fixture. Actually, this is a nicer fixture than the one that we had before. It has a metal ring in the base. This is made of porcelain, where the other one was from Lowe's, was plastic. This one was about $4. Now there's still, I gotta not drop this. This one's actually made of porcelain, but it wires up the exact same way. This is just a little bit nicer quality. And also, while I was up there looking for it, I got to thinking about, in the vein of working smarter and not harder, that I'm making this a little bit too hard. These things are already twisted and were already used to wire up the power supply for the old fluorescent fixture, which means I already have a wire that I could use to wire up the terminal. So I'm going to take a couple of wire snips and cut off just a length of the white and the black wires. There we go, about a ½ inch of each one. There, so, all set. Now, all we need to do is then we can reuse these wire nuts that we had before. Durr. Perfect. So much simpler. Alas. What are you going to do? Sometimes you just over... So we're going to put all of this good stuff back into the fixture. Okay, we just wrap that guy around there. Nice and snug. Okay, we're going to get all these wires tucked back up in there. Noticed is that there are default holes for a large workbox, and then there are these interior knockouts that have little eyelets that allow you to put the screw in, then mount the base and rotate it and lock it into place. Okay, maybe not 100. Finally got this thing cinched up and ready to go. Actually, I should have done something a little different there. There we go. So we rotate that into place, tighten it up, nice and snug. Okay, so now, moment of truth. We now take our fixture, all right. We have now got the base in there secured. We have the light fixture on. So here we go with the ceremonial turning on of the switch. Whoa! That's pretty stinking bright. I don't know if the camera shows it very well because it tends to try to compensate for the light, but this thing is super bright. I mean, this gives off every bit, if not more light than our old fluorescent fixtures did, would you say? I mean, this is terrific. I mean, this is a 3-car garage, and we got good light, pretty good light all the way over here. And this part of the garage was usually dark before. And we've got great light. I tell you what I might do. I might be persuaded to get another one of these things and maybe run a fixture or put in another light socket over here somewhere to get some light on this side of the garage. But I think this has been a total success. This kit from Amazon, I'll put a link to it in the video description. It was about $49.95. If you have a screw-in bulb light socket, standard adapter, you don't have to mess with what I did. If you do, the pieces are easy to get to the local hardware store. Just make sure you're safe around the electricity. This LED lamp replacement has been a complete success, so if you need a better light in your garage, consider an LED fixture and you can do it yourself. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Please feel free to leave comments, subscribe, like the video if you don't. If you don't, tell us what you don't like. I do these when I can. I enjoy doing it and passing on a little knowledge along the way, even if I make mistakes. That's how we all learn. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a blessed day. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.